Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second match in this first set, Eternal versus Cynic. This time we have Kexo on Blight. Hens, what are you expecting to see from this game?
I mean, Kexel's not the usual Blight player for Eternal, actually. I think usually Nightlight is playing, but they're switching it up now and letting Kexel do the job. But considering he doesn't have to do that much, and the win con is not that steep, I think he can manage.
Yeah, even someone who is not the strongest person on a killer on the Eternal team is probably still going to be really good at killer on Eternal.
Absolutely.
He's taking early chase with this ace. Redropping that pallet. Oh, nice read by our Blight. A good hit. We do see, though, that Ace not leaving any blood on the ground.
Strong. I think there was a bit of confusion, but now he vaults. Gives his location away. Might not be aware of the park he was using there. And we're going to the chase in the jungle gym. He greets that. Wow.
A nice dodge initially. Ooh! Beautiful hit by Kexo. Really nicely done. And we do see one gen with 4 pistons going, and that is going to be our first hook for Blight.
Yep. I mean, he doesn't have to do that much more. 1 gen done. This would usually be considered a relatively bad start for Blight, but this is the second game, and you already know what you have to do here. And he's not even going to tell. Okay.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the big benefits of going second is you get to know exactly what your win condition is. And sometimes that can help you kind of focus in on what you need to do and not get overwhelmed.
True. Absolutely. And, getting stuck on that wall. And now he used 5 rushes and has to run it down as a #1 killer.
Heading back to this half of the map. Oh! Back on that Nancy, and another quick down.
Oh. And that is,
I believe that is going to be game. Maybe not.
I think that should be.
Nope, I'm right. That is. Yeah, that is all Eternal needs to win this first set. But of course, they're going to play it out anyway. It will be interesting to see what happens in the rest of the match.
What's funny is Kexo actually used to hate Blight for a long time. I don't know if he still does. I mean, he's playing him right now. He can't be hating him that much. But interesting that Eternal lets him play Blight.
That is interesting. I cannot play Blight. I get like motion sickness, and I don't have the spatial awareness to know where to hit, to like come back and angle the right way to get those hits on survivors. But anyone who can do it, I think is someone to be admired, in my opinion.
True. Looks like we're going on to the lusty. Chase coming in. That's one way to do it. Don't have to rush.
No, at this point, Kexo knows that they have met the win condition. They are going to take their time and just play out the rest of the match as they would like. Looks like Ace was going over maybe to try and get that pickup. Blight finding that Nancy again. Oh, and Nancy just not quite able to get away. We did see that bar turn yellow, so I think it's fair to say that our killer is running brutal strength in this game.
Looks like it, yep. Very strong park on Blight to zone. Second hook on Nancy already.
Blight doing a very good job of kind of keeping survivors where they want them, keeping them, you know, zoned in the right spots on the map. Survivors doing what they can to try and get the rest of their gens done, but honestly, this is going to be tough. Unfortunately, since that gen change, Dwight can't just tap that gen. He has to commit to doing more progress on it than previously, and he's just not able to get it done. That gen looks like it is still regressing.
Yeah. Yeah, actually. So there's still 2 gens left, and this Nancy's in a prime position to get tunneled out if they even get her off that hook here.
Yeah, and a 3v1 is definitely easier to work with than a 4v1. Blight looks like definitely going to be going for the tunnel out here. Body blocking. Oh, really, really good job of defending that hook.
The 2 rocks made it possible to block the survivor from unhooking.
Yeah,
Strong
unfortunately,
coming out.
Quentin just not able to get that. Really clever play by Kexo. Moving back across the map. Going for that pickup on Quentin.
Actually just taking the pick. I mean, there's still 2 gens to complete, and I think you can just hook there and you have 2 gens close that the survivors walked previously. Yeah, this is a really good position for Kexo.
Yeah, because this gen has a lot of progress, and by hooking over here, he's going to be able to patrol both the gen and the hook pretty easily. Although we do see this gen over here with a lot of progress. Dwight being forced off, though. Circling over to another gen that they have started. Survivor's doing a really good job trying to get multiple gens going. Struggling a little bit, though. Again, this is a much tougher match now that it's a 3v1. Looking around, seeing if he sees anyone coming in for that rescue, but I don't know. It looks like maybe survivors are just going to work on gens, potentially. I think that's what's going on, yeah. No one's going over for that rescue yet. Kexo making the executive decision to go and look for the Dwight. Does land a hit, kicking that gen and going right back to hook.
Yep. Those tags really start hurting, and actually Angels is committing the gen, not going for the unhook.
Yeah, I guess at this point they are just playing for points. But Blight finding that ace, heading back over towards hook, kind of zoning the survivor into this area so they can multitask, patrol the hook, and also be in chase. And keep an eye on this gen. Our killer just has so much pressure here right now.
Yeah.
Ace does get the unhook on Quentin, but goes down in the process.
Sadly, the dead hard didn't connect. Nice try by Angels, though.
They do get another gen done. They have 1 gen left to go. They could potentially get 1 person out, maybe 2, if they play it really well, but I think that that's a little ambitious.
Yeah. So Ultra has been found, but Kexo's smart enough to know not to commit that because both of them are injured, and they are probably doing a different gen. No, they're hovering the hook. Okay.
Oh, interesting choice. Looks like Quentin is going to sit on that gen. Dwight kind of hanging around, seeing if maybe they can go for a rescue. I don't know how possible that's going to be, given how defensively Kexo is playing at this point. And it's definitely not going to happen now because Dwight is down, immediately going to the gen where he thinks there's the most progress. And he's going to go right for that Quentin, try to end this swiftly.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice slap.
Can Kexo finish it off in style? Yes, he can. That is a 4K for him.
4K at 1 gen. Very nicely done by Kexo. A fairly dominant showing, I would say. Now just to find our Dwight. And with Blight, that shouldn't be too hard.
Having to look for the last one.
He's already in the right vicinity. Yeah, that'll be a pretty quick pickup. Really well played by both sides. Honestly, Survivors got a lot more done than I would have anticipated, given how much pressure Kexo put on them kind of right from the jump. But just a wonderful showing by Kexo on Blight.
Yeah.
And that is going to be the end of this match. It is also going to be the end of set 1. Eternal coming out on top over Cynic. Welcome back, everybody, to our second set of Eternal versus Cynic. Now, we do want to let you know that Eternal readied up before they were actually supposed to, and they brought the wrong offering. They are going to have a -2 to their points starting out this set. So they're going to have to make it up with a little bit of extra work here, but something tells me they might be able to do it. We're having Kexo again on Dredge on Midwich, and it's pretty rare to see Midwich in a comp setting. Hens, how are you feeling about this map?
Dredge Midwich has been played a bit. It is quite known and a really, really fun one. Extremely methodical and tactical. And it all depends how you start out, and that's a really, really good start for Kexo. Looks like Ultra might be going down here.
I think that you are right, and it looks like they are going to go down in that lab room under pallet, but Kexo, no worries that someone's going to be coming in to do a pallet slap there. It seems like this must be an incredibly advantageous map for Dredge.
Yeah, I mean, he's really, really strong. There's so many lockers there, and you can hold stuff incredibly efficiently. So this is a down at 5 gens. That's what you usually really want to avoid when you play against Dredge. And now Kexo can control the area using his Remnant.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Dredge is not a killer that I've seen in comp a lot. I've not watched a lot of Dredge, nor do I personally go up against a lot of Dredge. I don't know if it's just like my MMR, but it's very rare for me to see a Dredge. So I'll be relying on you a little more, I think, for the killer side of things here.
Yeah, it's I mean, usually he's not that strong, but on Midwich he's really in his element. And it's not too rare to see very good results for Dredge here. Something like a 4K3, 4K2 is not actually unheard of. And looks like we actually get a trade. He's not gonna take the hook, he's actually gonna tell. Okay.
Interesting. Taking down one of Survivor's favorite pallets on this map and gonna pursue this Quentin in an effort to probably tunnel him out fairly quickly. And strategy is tale as old as time.
True.
Faking that teleport.
Oh, they were just there for the body block, but sadly a tiny bit too late, and now Ultra's probably gonna go on the hook again. There's still 4 gens to complete, so it's gonna be hard for Team Cynic here.
Yeah, Survivors are definitely in a rough spot. As you said, there are just so many lockers everywhere. Dredge's mobility is seemingly so powerful on this map. So our Survivors definitely have a lot of work to do here.
Ooh. Wait, there was a call attack. Oh, wow. Well played by Nancy.
Teleporting back up top. checking to see if anybody is coming in for this rescue. Looks like they're trying to break that courtyard gen in the middle there.
Yeah. So the thing is, the dredge can actually body block quite efficiently here. Oh. Yeah, that's the problem. He can't really do much here. Angel's on his own. I don't think he can rescue, and that's gonna be the first kill.
Wow, really, really, really strong pressure by our killer. This has been a very strong start to this match, and if I were playing Survivor here, I would be incredibly concerned. 3 survivors left, 3 gens to do. That is not the place you want to be.
Yeah.
It is always better when possible. If you can be up survivors to gens, that is what you want. Once it comes down to 3, you typically are going to have somebody on hook, someone who has to rescue, and then someone trying to take chase or get gens done, and it all just becomes so much harder. You don't have that spare person to be working gens consistently.
True. And Dragon Script is active on this Claudette, and oh, that's such a good teleport from Kexo. Is he going to be able to maybe get her here? Stuck on a very unsafe pallet.
Oh.
Claudette winning the
Nice.
mind game though.
Yeah, very nice pick by the Claude. Just buying as much time as she can for her teammates, doing a really great job. They do manage to get 1 gen done. And they have another gen with a little bit of progress. You know, I've seen weirder comebacks, frankly.
So generally when you go into the 3-1, it's so hard to get pressure going against Dredge, because that's when slugging is really strong and resetting becomes so hard, especially if Mangled is in play. So yeah, every single injury hurts, and the pallets are not going to respawn. So I would say, like, more often than not, once it's 3-1, the Dredge really starts overtaking the map.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It looks like our Claude did get rescued and reset, so that's big for our survivors. Lab Gen had a little bit of progress. Nancy skulking around, trying not to get found here. It looks like our survivors are going for a little bit of hide and seek as a technique here.
Yep.
Moving across the map. These survivors are locking a lot of these lockers up.
Yeah. Generally against Dredge, the first thing you do when you spawn in is you want to try to lock all the hallway lockers, because they're so strong in chase. And you don't want to bother with them, so that's the first thing you lock. And yeah, the longer this game goes on, the more of those lockers are going to be unlocked and the more pallets are gone. So the clock is ticking against the survivors.
Nancy doing a nice job in chase here. Moving to I would say a fairly scary pallet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like, oh, really nicely done by our killer. Just getting a little bit of the drop on Nancy. Gonna be teleporting all the way across the map now.
Nobody there though, okay.
Interesting. Maybe just wanting to check that gen to see how that one's coming along. Although we did just see our survivors doubled up on one.
I think there are 2 gens high progress. Yeah, going back to that one. Nancy's still walking on it.
Yeah, that gen has at least 2 pistons going. So some good progress on a couple of gens, but obviously this Nancy is injured, which makes her a prime candidate to go on a hook. Nancy doing a really great job of wasting time though, but is eventually going to go down. And it looks like our killer is going to play exactly as you were suggesting, and they are going to be slugging that Nancy and going for someone else. Dwight trying to rotate over to get that pickup, though. Moving into this infirmary room here. Pretty good pallet here. They are definitely going to be breaking that. So Claude going to be moving right along into one of the classrooms. And Dredge leaving her for now. Nancy has been picked up by the Dwight at this point, but they weren't able to get a reset. Hopefully someone is getting back on a generator soon, or these survivors are going to be in big trouble. Nancy back down in the bathrooms.
Yeah, and this is where the slugging starts. Oh, there's the survivor right there, though, in the bathroom. Wow.
Looks like they're going to try and bait the pallet save.
I think they're just playing it safe in case the killer comes back. You don't want to be caught there. But yeah, maybe. Maybe they're playing for the pallet safe.
Interesting. Dredge does manage to scare Dwight off the gen temporarily.
Actually, we are going back for the pick, and this is where Claudette's position. Oh! No way Kexo actually read that. Wow.
Wow. I guess
So
maybe they figured that he'd been gone long enough that someone could be there.
I mean, the Nancy did crawl towards the pallet instead of recovering, which kind of indicates that there might be someone there for the pallet safe, because if there's no one there, you would probably just want to recover as fast as possible. So that decision might have given it away a little bit, and that's a huge snowball now.
And that is another fresh hook for our killer. Another good chunk of points going towards Eternal. White hanging around out in the courtyard, seemingly waiting for an opening to go in for that rescue. But this is a very scary position. Does manage to get that rescue, though. The question is, can they get that Claude up as well and get some kind of a reset? I just don't know that they're going to be able to do that. Oh, good try on the firecrackers, though. But nonetheless, Claude is going to be taking another hook. Once again, back in this infirmary room, but we know this pallet is gone already, so not a whole lot to work with there.
Yeah. Now Angel's Deathhawk. We're still at 2 gens. That's literally the Marv gens that we went into the 3-1 with. That gen that used to be 50 is 10% now. And Nancy injured.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this is kind of what we meant, though, about 3v1 being so much more difficult, because this Dwight has just been forced to run all over God's green earth trying to save his teammates and isn't really able to work on a gen. So it does make everything a lot more difficult. This is going to be second hook for Nancy. And this is now just going to be a long game of cat and mouse, I think.
True. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Angel's
I had
being
no idea
found
she was
out
there.
once again. Good catch.
And Dwight was going to try and get on that gen, but himself is now in chase. I don't know. I feel like we're just kind of delaying the inevitable at this point. This is a very rough position.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no big progress. This is Angel's last hook stage, so he's also gonna die. Actually, no, we're slugging. Interesting.
I'm finally going to be going for that Dwight. Dwight, who hasn't been hooked yet, so would be a fresh hook. And Nancy going back down. 2 survivors down, 1 left to find. Nancy is going to be out of the game, unfortunately. And now it's just kind of a matter of how long does it take for our killer to find Dwight. Because unfortunately, I don't think these survivors can get these gens done.
Ooh.
Let's manage to get that Claude up. Gonna be heading back across the map, trying to find these last 2 survivors.
Yeah, probably trying to reset, but I think there's not much gen purse on any of them, so.
Well,
Easy
there is
pickings for
always
Kexo.
Hatch, but I doubt that Kexo is gonna let them both live long enough for either of them to get a chance at it.
Yeah.
Coming up on this Claude here. Gosh, it's so hard to see. It is so hard to see when the darkness is there.
Yeah. Ooh. So now it's a matter of trying to find Dwight, and he has already been spotted.
Nicely done. Dwight now on the run, but unfortunately not able to get very far. And another excellent showing by Kexo. Man, Dredge just dominated this match. As we said earlier, the movement here is insane, and the strategy that Kexo was using, the way that he was able to keep our survivors pressured, keep them off those gens and chasing each other around, trying to get resets, was just really, really well done. I wonder, Hens, do you think if they had, instead of trying to bait out that pallet save in the bathroom, gone for a pickup, because they might have had enough time, would that have made any difference, do you think? Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of set 2. We are once again back in Midwich with a Dredge. Hens, how are you feeling about this second half?
It is always exciting to watch Eternal play Survivor, and this is against Ultra. This is a classic matchup. Ultra, really, really strong Dredge player, but he has a tall ask. He will need to come out of the gates pretty strong.
Yeah, that last game match with Eternal on Dredge was fairly, what's the word I'm looking for? Dominant. So definitely going to be looking for an equally strong start from Ultra.
True. So obviously Eternal knows that Ultra needs a strong start. They're going to play it really, really safe at that point and do everything to delay that initial snowball as much as possible. One thing about the teleporting actually charges the Nightfall, so there's a little bit of an advantage there. That's an early hit. Very nice. And it's almost Nightfall already.
And if he can get that Ada down fairly quickly, that will match the strong start we saw in the last round as well.
Yeah. Oh. That gen is yellow, and looks like we found another chase here. Oh,
Whoa. Ace
he
doing
actually missed.
some crazy jukes there.
Yeah, Ultra expected the ace to already be inside him, past him, but that did not happen, and that seems to be a free hit now.
Nice hit from our killer. Ace going to be going into one of these side rooms again, but Dredge opting to go downstairs and pursue this Ada again, who's already been reset. Our killer really needs down fairly quickly at this point.
Yeah. We are onto scratch marks. There's probably... Yeah, that's the reset happening. That's a good interrupt. And we also found the second gen that was progressed, so that's pretty good for Ultra.
Definitely seems to be in like an information gathering while pursuing stage, because they have gotten a lot of information in the past couple of minutes.
Great fake by Dan.
Pursuing this ace really hard. Gonna try and get this down quickly.
Oh, stuck on the short side. That's a down.
Very nice. Well done by Ultra. Ultra now making their way over here. Gonna try and get a tag on someone. And it looks like it's the David, who has just finished that first gen for Eternal.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Ultra really wanted to interrupt that gen, get apply eruption or maybe chase the David off, but he was a tiny bit too late there. Now everyone is full health, and I'm not sure if this is fast enough, honestly, to match that kind of start that Kexo had earlier. This gen is also really high progress in the yard.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like Ultra is in a position that you don't really want to be in, which is you kind of need the survivors to make a mistake at this point. It started out really promising, looking like they were going to have a really strong start again, like Eternal did. But now they've lost a lot of that pressure. Everyone, as you said, was reset, and it's going to take a lot of work to get this done, or a mistake. And that's not something you want to be relying on.
Yep, especially if you're playing against Eternal. That's a very rough spot to be in.
Yeah, Eternal's mistakes are generally few and far between.
That is a very fast down though. So that unhook was honestly not worth it because Dan is on the hook so fast, and now Spitz has to get reset again. So that's a little bit of momentum for Ultra. Is it enough though? That's the question.
I don't know.
One thing though, Cynic has a little bit of an edge because of the penalty applied to Eternal. So
that is true. I forgot there was, for those who were not here or don't remember, there was a 2-point penalty to Eternal for bringing a wrong map offering at the beginning of their match in this set. So they do, as you said, have that 2-point advantage. However, it does seem like Eternal has at least one gen with a lot of progress. My guess is there might be another one somewhere out there working as well. Oh, and Dredge has found this ace again and is going to be putting him out of the game seemingly as quickly as possible. But there goes that gen pop. So now even if ace goes down, it's still going to be 3 survivors, 2 gens left, but David coming in for a really excellent body block, buying a decent amount of time for ace.
ooh.
Yeah.
Very good pathing by Dan. He got a lot of distance there, and this is also locked. He wants to avoid getting stuck at a pallet as long as possible, but this is going to be the one. Really?
Interesting choice. Our killer opting to leave that chase, come back here and interrupt this gen. I see. Does see the Ada and is going to go for her.
Yeah, I think he just has to. He doesn't have time anymore, but that's also going to be so hard. But at this point, you kind of still need to get Dan out at some point or another, because holding against 4 is so hard. Oh, that's the reset being found, though.
This could be really, really big. Looks like Ace did get healed up, but David did not. So potentially
And-
going to go for a fresh hook here on David.
David using any means to fake a vault. Very strong place.
He's eventually going to be caught. That is a fresh hook. We do see a reset happening across the map. And Ace kind of skulking around up top.
So one
what do
gen
you-
left.
What do you do now if you're Ultra? How are you
Pray
handling
to God.
this?
Oh, this is at this point you need a massive fuck up from the survivor side somehow. Maybe a dragon script, but it looks like Eternal's playing around it perfectly and they are respecting it, not touching gens before dragon script runs out. So even that is gonna be so hard. You kind of need to really find Dan at some point and maybe take him out, and then maybe the 3-1 still with one gen left that could be holdable. But Eternal's playing it down very beautifully and not allowing any snowball.
And we haven't even commented on this, but they've done a great job of splitting gens. There is not a great 3-gen here for our killer to play with. These gens are all fairly spread out. Now, granted, with the teleporting, he can move around fairly quickly, but still, you know, that's good playing by Eternal.
Yeah.
Going to be going after this Ada. Still not going to be going for the ace. Ada, who has not been hooked. Interesting choice.
No, I think Ultra, he just needs tags. He needs them fast. He needs all of them injured. And that's what he's currently not getting. And this is why Eternal is Eternal. They are on Survivor side the most coordinated team and have been for a long time. As like once you are at the stage where you need Eternal to make like massive mistakes, you're probably done for because you're not gonna get them. They're so experienced. They always play it down extremely well.
Yeah, watching Eternal play on Survivor is definitely a masterclass.
True.
Trying really hard to get this Ada.
Nice.
Heading back to this gen because they know that this is the one that they are sinking most of their resources into.
Yeah.
Opting not to kick and going to be chasing this David again.
Pallet goes down. Wow, the any means vault fakes are very strong there. Nightlight using the park excellently.
Did manage to get tagged. The Ada has been reset though. And this is tough. Ultra has a lot of things to be juggling at this point,
Yeah.
and they were working on another gen all together. Wow.
Very strong, yeah.
You know, I mean, Eternal really is Eternal. They are just so good at this. And it is, even aside from how good they are, I imagine that the mental going up against them has to be so strong because Eternal has been around a long time and they're, as you said, just phenomenally good at what they do.
True.
And unfortunately, the end game seemingly got away from Ultra.
He still played really well. He almost got back into this game, but sadly it was not enough, and Eternal just, their gen efficiency was really, really high in this one.